Hi guys, and welcome back to this at-home Corona series thing. This is the 8th workout in the series, and this is my first time working out since I got sick, so it's been about a week. So I'm looking forward to it, kind of. There are lots and lots and lots of different levels doing this program, so I want to make sure that I cater to everyone a little bit. And so these workouts are getting progressively harder, and I'm going to suggest a couple of harder modifications, a couple of what's called progressions for some of the movements, for those of you who are craving that. But I will give you the previous modification so that you can stay where you are. So for example, the lunge today, we're going to be taking up a notch. We're going to be doing something called a Bulgarian split squat. But if you're still struggling with the lunge, stay with the lunge. And if you really aren't comfortable with the lunge, you should still be doing the squat, okay? So I want there to be a sense of progression in these workouts. I want them to be getting harder, but you need to make sure that you're doing it with good technique and that you're at the right level for you. Little bit of equipment for this one. If you have a dumbbell, go and get it. If you don't have a dumbbell, just use whatever you fashioned last time, even if it's just like a wine bottle or something. The movement is for doing a row, and it's a super important movement. So I want to make sure that everyone gets that in these workouts. It's a really important exercise for back and arms. And if you have a chair with a cushion on it, or a sofa, or a bed, or anything, I'm going to use that for the Bulgarian split squat. If you don't have it, you're just going to do a lunge. Okay, let's get started. We're going to get into our baby squat. Well, we're going to do our baby squat. So we're getting into our deep squat. Oh, it's been a long time since I've done this. And just bounce around here a little bit. If you're still struggling, hold on to something heavy and just sink down into that. Okay, bum up in the air, stretch out the backs of the legs, and back down into the squat. Okay, so I call this a baby squat because this is how babies get up and down. They don't stand up out of the squat like this, or toddlers. They put their hands on the floor and they use their hands to get out of it. Okay, so just a little bit of mobility for the hips. Have a little wiggle round here if you need to. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. If it feels good to sort of bounce around or have a little twist, then do that. Oh, feeling really stiff. Okay, just a couple more. And last one, and just let your head flop down heavy. Okay, we're going to go into a set of lunges as a warm-up. So reverse lunges. Again, if this is too much, go back to your squat. Just straight away, I should get straight into it. Start getting the heart rate up. Start getting all of the legs warmed up. Okay, so taking a nice big step back. Ooh. Watching your balance, just kiss the knee down. Think elevator, not escalator. Where people sort of go, wait, what am I doing? Something like that. Okay, so not going down forward like this. We're thinking of going down like this, right down and back up. Just alternating between the two legs. Really push through that front leg. Start to get your heart rate up, start to get the muscles contracting. And then we're going to go into our downward facing dog and our upward facing dog. Should move this out of the way a little bit. Okay, so nothing new here, although we're going to take the downward dog up a level in just a moment. So I want you to know that this is here for you if the next thing that we're doing, something called a Twizzler, isn't quite right for you. If it's too much, then just keep it here on the upward facing dog to the downward facing dog. Really opens up the shoulders. Okay, so just a little bit of mobility to get warm. The squat and the upward dog, downward dog are my favourite movements for getting the body warm, getting the shoulders warmed up, getting the hips warmed up. Everyone, all of you who've trained with me in the past know that I use these a lot. They're great basics to just get in there. Every single session, we all get really tight shoulders and tight hips. and then you can move on to other things. Okay, so we're going to come onto our back, and we're going to do a set of glute bridges. Okay, so about 15 of these, just really getting the glutes warmed up, getting them firing. You can use a band if you want to, if you have one. Remember those feet about squat width apart, knees pointing out, squeezing your bum all the way up to the top. Make sure you're fully extending and make sure your knees aren't falling in. Push them out over the toes. Okay, no matter how advanced you are, this is always a really great basic one to go back to. Make sure that the glute muscles are working, doing what they're supposed to do. Okay, last 5. This may be more than 15, but you should know by now I'm not very good at counting. Okay, last 2. Last 1. Awesome. Okay, we're going to do a couple of new movements now. One is a great core exercise, which we're not doing many in this series, but it's also a great stretch, great for mobility. Okay, so taking the legs wide, you're going to turn one foot out. Okay, then you're going to take on the same side, put your hand down against your thigh, and the opposite hand you're going to put up over your shoulder. Okay, so directly up in the air. Imagine you've got a rope wrapped around your arm and it's getting pulled up towards the ceiling all the time, so it never comes away from here. Then what we're going to do is it's called a windmill. We're going to reach down towards the floor. You're going to keep both legs completely straight, touch the floor and stand back up. Okay, now, so legs completely straight, reach down, touch the floor. Notice how this arm is always facing up towards the ceiling. Okay, it doesn't sort of come down like this. Okay, it always stays on top of my shoulder. It doesn't come forward either. It's always completely perpendicular to the floor. Now, if you're not flexible, if you're tight in your obliques or in your hamstrings or in your adductors, and lots of people are tight in all 3, you're going to be stuck here and you're going to be going, how is she doing that? Right, you're going to be stuck over here and you're feeling a massive stretch. Okay, that's fine. That's where you're at. Just stretch down, and then you're using the muscles to, when they're fully stretched out, to come all the way back up. And if you're more flexible, you don't have to stop here. You can reach between the legs. Okay, you get a really nice big stretch all the way down the back, the sort of inside and back of the thigh. Don't bend your knee to get further. Okay, just be really honest with the movement. Okay, my arm feels like it's going to fall off. I'm going to switch sides. About 10 on each side. Okay, so wherever you're at with the flexibility, sorry about the flashing lights, I don't have very good lighting here. Wherever you're at with the flexibility, you might be here and you just can't go any further, totally fine. You might be coming down, touching the floor, you might be reaching in between the legs. Okay, so you might be able to kind of come forward, reach between the legs, reach your arm back. Okay, 5 more of these. 5, 4, 3, it's a great oblique exercise as well. 2, last one. 1, okay. So we're going to do something now, a movement that I love, and some of you are going to think it's really silly. I call this a Twizzler. I've got no idea what it's actually called. Kind of this like wild thing in yoga. So what you're going to do is come onto all 4s, bum in the air. So we're not in a downward facing dog like this, but we're over here somewhere. Knees bent. What you're going to do, so you've got your weight evenly distributed between your legs and arms. You're going to take one leg, the leg that's furthest away from you, okay? Put it in between the opposite leg and arm. Don't put it over here, okay? Put it on the floor here. All right, I'm going to move over here a bit so you can see me. Put it on the floor somewhere in between the leg and the arm. Then you're going to take the arm up, I'm differentiate between arm and leg. Arm up and twist round, okay? And the goal is to get all the way up into a bridge. Twist your feet round, so your feet are at 90 degrees, your knees at 90 degrees, and reach over to the other side. Okay, come back. You'll feel a big stretch in the arm that's on the floor. Okay, we're going to go the other way, away from the camera this time, or the TV. So, I'm taking my right foot in between the left
foot and arm. And then I'm twisting round, twisting my feet round, coming onto my hand and reaching over towards you guys. Okay? You should feel a big stretch on the chest and on the shoulder, and then come back round. It's a great mobility exercise, but also strengthener for the shoulders. Okay, we're going to go back to the first side. If this is too much for your wrists or anything, you're just going to do upward dog to downward dog. But like I said, I want to give you guys something a little bit more challenging for those of you who are looking for that. So, one foot, thread through the other side, and the opposite arm comes up off the floor. Now, what loads of people do at this stage is they flip round like this. It doesn't look like that. Keep stacked on top of your shoulder, and really arch your back, and keep the weight on your shoulder and on your wrist, and come back through. Okay, if this is too much for you, just go down to a downward facing dog. We're going to do a couple more reps. Foot through the other foot, through between the other foot and arm, reach around with the opposite arm, and then come back. Okay, so a lot of you are going to be doing this. You're going to come through here, and then you're going to be trying to twist round this way, and you're not going to understand what's going on. Okay, you want to follow your leg through, in between the arm and the opposite leg. Feel that big stretch here in the chest, and do one more on the other side. Right leg through, twist round, reach, look over to the other side. Okay, awesome. Okay, so I've probably lost half of you now because you're like, what is that? But I think it's a fun movement, great way to strengthen the shoulders and stretch out the chest. Okay, we're going to move on to a Bulgarian split squat now. So you need something to put your foot on. This looks like a lunge. So let's go through the setup. Foot on the surface, on the sofa or whatever it is. And you want to have your weight slightly forward, just like we did with the lunge. And we're going to squat down, like the edge of this kind of digs in. You want to make sure you're far enough away that you can squat down here and come all the way back up. Okay, you want to make sure you've got enough room for your foot, for your knee to slot in there. Okay, we're going to do about 8 on each side. Otherwise, I'll be really, really, really sore. Okay, again, if this is too much for you, go back to the lunge. You want to kind of lean your chest forward just slightly. Don't do this. Okay, you'll do this and then you'll tell me, Jen, I feel it here in this leg that's on the back. I want you feeling it in this front leg. See the range of motion. That bum's going below that knee. Okay, see, that's below here. My knee goes forward. Again, don't let it fall inwards. Okay, last one. Okay, switch to the other side. These make me sore. Okay, but a lot of you have asked for more challenging stuff, so here it is. This is one of the best, probably the best exercise you can do with no weight for your legs. Okay, chest slightly forward as you come down, all the way down as low as you can. And if you can't go low, go back to the lunge. Okay, work on that first. Because if you're just kind of doing it here, it's not really doing anything. Well, it is doing something, but you want to work through full range of motion. Okay, last one. Awesome. Okay, right, we're going to do a set of glute bridges. I'm going to bring our heart rate down a little bit. I find that really gets my heart rate high. So before we move on to the next strength exercise, that does require a lot of strength. It requires your heart rate to be a little bit lower. We're just going to bring the heart rate down. Just do a little bit of a glute exercise, something that's a little bit easier. Take a few breaths, take a drink of water if you need. So we're going to be working on push-ups next. So this is going to be challenging too. Okay, 5 more of these. 5, 4, I know this is a lot, but 3, 2, you can never do enough glute bridges. 1, okay, so we're going to come in, we're going to work on our push-ups now. And again, I'm going to give you the next progression. If this is too much, just go back to your knee push-ups or to your incline push-ups. You have a couple of progressions now. If you want the next progression, we're going to work on negative push-ups. Okay, so we're going to get into a high plank position and we're just going to lower ourselves down, just like we did with the knee push-ups. So right up on a high plank. Okay, from here, your elbows back and down, and you're lowering yourself down towards the floor, nice and slowly, nice and controlled. Boobs and hips touch the floor at the same time, and then you're going to peel yourself up onto your knees and back into that plank position. Okay, lowering yourself down, nice and slowly, and then peeling yourself back up into this plank position. Now, if you're doing this, okay, it's too hard. You need to go back to a knee push-up. Okay, I want nice and controlled all the way down towards the floor. Obviously, if it's not perfect, that's fine. But if it's really like you're really sinking in your shoulders and you can't control it at all, then you need to go back down. Okay. Last one, elbows back and down. Again, elbows not out to the sides. Ooh, okay. Whew. Right, our last one, we're going to do a row. So grab your dumbbell. If you don't have a dumbbell, grab your wine bottle or vinegar bottle or anything. Just do the movement. Okay, so bum sticking out, elbow back towards the ceiling. This is a 3-point row. Keep your back nice and straight, bum sticking out, knees bent. Don't do this. Okay, kind of defeats the whole object. You want to be as parallel as you can be to the floor with your back. Elbow up towards the ceiling. Okay, you should be feeling this in the front of your arm, in the biceps, and maybe in the upper back. Well, yeah, you should hopefully be feeling it in the upper back as well. It is an upper back exercise. Okay, make sure your your shoulder isn't rolling in. Open the chest. Last one. Whew. Okay, other side. Okay, this is kind of a halfway house between strength and HIIT. These are strength exercises, but the kind of strength work that I'm a big fan of has a little bit more rest in between. But you know, we've got to get on with it and move on to the next and move on with our day. Okay, last two. Last one. Okay, right, we're going to go back to the beginning. What are we up to? Okay, so quickly back through this circuit. Leg up, we're going to go back to our Bulgarian split squat. Okay, make sure you're far enough away to be able to, oh, I'm not far enough away. Oh. Okay, bit of balance as well. Make sure you're far enough away to be able to slide in here. If you're too close, like I was, okay, you get really, really cramped. Ooh. And if you're too far away, it doesn't work either. But there's always that sweet spot. Knee forward, over the fourth toe. If this is aggravating your knees, you've got lots of other options. You've got the lunge, and then you've got the squat of different heights. You've even got the goblet squat. Okay, last one. Switching sides. It does feel good to get my heart rate up. You'll notice the higher my heart rate gets, the worse my instructions get. Knee out over the toes. Coming down as far as you can. Pushing that floor away. Trying not to hold your breath as well. Breathe out through the movement. Okay, last two. No idea how many we've done. I'm just going by my heart rate and how sore my legs feel. Okay, let's get rid of that. We're not doing that again. Right. Kind of line your back, and we're going to do a set of glute bridges. Okay, so about 15 of these. If you need to just rest as well, just rest. Okay, nice squeeze on the bum. Knees out, Don't have your feet too far away. Don't have them too close either. Okay, this is it, guys. Just 2 more exercises after this. Okay. And you go back to our push-up. Here we go. Okay, so making sure that you're doing the right level for you. If you're on the knee push-ups, if that's better for you, just do that. If not, if you're ready for the full reverse negative push-ups, okay, just lowering yourself down to the floor and back up. Lowering yourself down to the floor and back up. Make sure chest and belly touch the floor at the same time. Okay, we're also not doing something like this with our bum up in the air. Okay, last one. Short set for those. Okay, last one, row. Oh, I do need this. That was me getting rid of it. Okay, 10 on each side, elbow up towards the ceiling. 2, 3, nice flat back. 4, 5, knees slightly bent. 6, 7, back as parallel as you can to the floor. 8, 9, last one. Okay, switch sides. Again, make sure you're not like this. Bum up, back parallel to the floor. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. Awesome. Hope you enjoyed that. That was workout number 8.